Welcome back to WNEP TV's Power to Save. I'm here at Ricketts Glen, and this is one of the modern cabins with great amenities for camping if you really love the outdoors. Right now we're going to talk to Cabot Oil and Gas because there's exciting opportunities for women. Here's George Stark.
Thanks, Jackie. What we have today in this opportunity is to really walk through everything that the oil and gas industry, and particularly Cabot, is doing to encourage women and minorities to get involved in the energy industry. What you're going to hear are some exciting things that we have happening and taking place, and hopefully at the end of the day we can encourage more women and minorities to take the opportunities that are in the energy industry, take it to hand.
Allison Hewitt is a student at Lackawanna College School of Petroleum and Natural Gas.
In the field right now, I do the electrical work and like the troubleshooting measurement work. So I do calibrations, and then we put together like the meter runs and all of the electrical work, so like the conduit in the ground and pulling the wire and terminating in the unit so everything will work. So we're basically like, the one side of it's basically the electrician part of it, and the other side is like the troubleshooting part of it.
What inspired this young woman to go into the oil and gas industry?
My father was a huge factor in me coming to go into this industry. My father started off just hauling gas and diesel down in Scranton, and then he worked his way up. He did ethanol, and he was doing propane and butane. So he knows everything about the downstream part of the industry. So, and I'm learning more of the upstream, midstream part of the industry, so we can like commingle everything about work, and it's great.
She never wavered from her career path.
They would say, "Oh, so you're working in the office." And then they get the jaw drop moment when you're like, "No, I work out in the field with all the guys." I thought, because everybody tells the girls that they should go be a nurse or go do something like girly. And everybody says the medical field's the way to go, but you can't go to the medical field if that's not where your heart is. So I followed my heart for where I came.
Brittany Ramos is the coordinator of external affairs for Cabot Oil and Gas Corporation.
Energy altogether is not very well talked about when it comes to public relations, even journalism. So it was a shock for me to end up in this industry, but I'm really glad I did. The opportunities I've had here would be unsurpassed elsewhere.
She is excited that more women and minorities are choosing the gas and oil industry for a career.
Right now we have seen progress. I can absolutely say since I started in this industry, I have seen changes in policies, I've seen official changes and unofficial changes that make it more welcoming. A great example are things that make it easier for women to want to work in an industry, like flexible hours, working from home, because that's really what you want. You want to find a career you're comfortable with, you want to find a career that you want to do, and you're able to find that in oil and gas, no matter what that might be.
Cabot is supporting educating students in the STEM fields.
One of Cabot's big focuses is on STEM education and making sure that students at all levels are learning about science, technology, engineering, and math, and how they can apply that to their everyday lives.
Junior Achievement is updating their programming for STEM-related careers.
We are seeing, along with so many other industry professionals, that there's a lack of students interested in STEM-related careers, specifically girls and young women. The science, technology, engineering, and math concepts that would lead to careers in those fields oftentimes are viewed by young students, and especially girls, as something that they're not good at and things that they're not capable of. Or young girls also may look at STEM careers and say, oh, if it's technology and if it's dealing with computers or things like that, that's for boys, not for girls. And we're seeing that divide, and what we're hoping is to close that gap over time by letting our young girls also know that it's okay to be an engineer, it's okay to be in computer sciences, and that we would encourage them to explore those careers as much as they would any other career.
The gas industry is attracting more women.
Working in this industry, I have noticed that numbers of females and minorities, honestly, in the industry have increased since I've been here, and there's been a slight uptick, which is encouraging. When I first started, I'd be often the only female in the room, and it's not unusual. I grew up with a lot of male friends, so it's not uncomfortable necessarily, but it is different to be that outnumbered. And I think the industry's done a great job of being welcoming and not being very close-knit and closed to having different viewpoints and different backgrounds.
The oil and natural gas industry is looking to build the workforce of the future, but we know that we have to look at things differently than we ever have before because our nation is more diverse than it ever has before. So we need to look for a more diverse employment roles. We need to look at encouraging more African Americans, Asian Americans, Latino Americans, and certainly more women to consider working in oil and gas. The reason they don't consider working in oil and gas is because they think that there's no place for them in this field. They assume that you have to be either a petroleum engineer to work in oil and gas, or you have to be out on a rig in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico wearing a hard hat doing manual labor. They don't realize that it is both of those things and it's everything in between. They don't realize that the oil and natural gas industry employs accountants, and graphic designers, and occupational therapists, and lawyers, and even political science graduates like me. There is a place in oil and gas for just about everyone.
That's really what you want. You want to find a career you're comfortable with, you want to find a career that you want to do, and you're able to find that in oil and gas, no matter what that might be.
You see, there are tremendous opportunities in the growing energy industry. We want to do all we can to get the right people in the right jobs with the right background. We see this opportunity, we want to push and promote it to everybody.
Well, that is really exciting news, isn't it?
It really is, but you know what? Women have been playing a role in everything since beginning of history. For example, how did Lake Jean get its name?
I don't know.
Named after Colonel Ricketts' first daughter, Jean.
I did not know that. That's a good scoop.
How do you like that? Now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to tell you how you can take advantage of things like this cabin when Power to Save continues.